Oh, it's unbelievable, Alan. I'm going to come back and take calls for the balance of the 40 minutes we have left with you. It just hurts me at a primitive level because I have this defense mechanism for innocence to watch them arresting homeschooling parents now for no reason in America. It's just...
Yeah.
God. We have fallen so far.
The U.S. Was the last country in the world that had strong family units, and they're demolishing it right now.
They're outlawing it, and they take the rebellion of the children and turn it against the parents. Unbelievable. We're going to Dustin, Justin, Mark, Ken, and others in just one moment for the balance of the hour, taking your phone calls, hitting some other news. But I want to lay it out there. Joseph McCarthy, the Russians have now declassified it a decade ago, was absolutely right about everything to a certain point. As soon as he found out the Pentagon was running the communists, which has now been declassified, funding them, he was destroyed. As soon as he found out big financiers were running it to consolidate power, to socialize our wealth. We need to realize we are up against a conspiracy of parasites and control freaks and compartmentalized crooks that the social engineers hire and roll out their programs through Federal Reserve money worldwide. They have unlimited money. And really start recognizing when somebody wants to interrogate your kids, they're a hardcore anti-American piece of trash. When somebody wants to force drug you, they're your enemy. Not just, oh, the government's out of control. We need to gut up and start letting these people know we know you're criminals and let their minions know they're criminals. And they're all engaged in crime. They all are immoral. You track a corrupt mayor, a corrupt judge, you're going to find them doing crimes. Put it on YouTube, burn them. I mean, folks, if you activate as secret operatives against the New World Order, there's no orders. You know evil, you know corruption, engage them. Turn yourselves loose. Look what I've done in 14 years. Devastating the enemy. Devastating the enemy. And I'm only one person with one operation. You can all activate and do things untold. The enemy operates covertly. You can operate overtly, covertly. There's so many ways to beat them. But when you realize you're in a scientific dictatorship, you're fighting for your very future. They're already poisoning people in mass. We are in the middle of just absolute war, as Alan Watt was saying. Alan?
Yes, and hopefully one day down the road, there'll be the biggest Nuremberg trial ever put on in history, where all these characters will pay for their crimes against humanity.
And public service announcements will be educating people in sophisticated propaganda so they know how to recognize scumbag lying and manipulation.
I really think the signs and symptoms of the psychopath should be taught in school. Because these are the type who go up into these positions. They get into the Pentagon, they get up the ranks of business, they get up the ranks of politics. They have an insatiable craving for utter, complete power. And there are definite signs and symptoms with them. They're totally corruptible because they have no right or wrongs within them. Whatever is right simply benefits them. But we've got to expose them for who they are.
And they're obsessed with the science of control that they spend trillions studying.
Yes. And you're quite correct, though, when you say that when they want to drug your children and so on, it's the same as we're coming to kill your children. If they're coming to destroy the brain of your child, then, you know...
their soul, their destiny, their will.
Yeah. Then you're dealing with murderers here, and they must be treated as murderers. Don't lose what they're really doing through scientific...
Exactly. I think the biggest awakening, Alan, is realizing... I mean, I'm a normal person. I'm a normal, red-blooded, aggressive person who isn't stupid, but I'm not that smart. And when I read scientific manuals on how they're attacking everyone, I start warning people, what are you supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. And there's got to be a mass movement. It's going to be a mass movement, grassroots.
And they're going to put up fake movements and fake left, right, and fake tea parties and fake... No, you got to go into all those groups, use those groups against themselves, and use those organizations to educate the core people to then see... Because most of the leaders don't even know.
Well, yeah, lots of them are out of the loop. They don't have to be in the loop, and a lot of them prefer to be out of the loop because they've got plausible deniability. Their own pockets are getting well feathered and nested, so they don't care how things are done as long as their name is kept out of it. But technically, one day shall come and they will all answer for their crimes. They're massive crimes, absolutely.
But that's the sick part about the New World Order. They have this sick logic, dark logic is what I call it, of where they have to warn us about what they're doing, and then they statistically, they attack their own mid-level and low-level minions. It's like a religion. They'll say, we did this to you. Now watch us take this minion. Just rip him about. I mean, and then they almost, those of us that are awake, they almost respect us, and if we get persecuted and go through it, then it's almost like we're a sacred cow. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, you got to understand the psychopath lives on pure ego, their own ego. And outside of that ego, nothing really exists. So they love to boast. It's like a serial rapist is no different. They're very clever. When they get caught, they will tell you everything, how clever they were with every one of their crimes. Quite openly, blatantly, no remorse, no emotion, but they want you to respect them for being so darn clever. That's the psychopath. So that's why they attack their lessers. They infight at times for more power amongst themselves.
I've also been told by top globalists that they enjoy hearing about how evil they are.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
They love it. This show is one of their favorite entertainments. And the public says, kill me. Oh, I love it. We'll be right back with your calls.